When you hear the word Texas, images of big cities, vast prairies, and cowboys in wide-brimmed hats come to mind. But that's just the most visible side of the state. The real essence is hidden deeper in the wilderness, where time seems to have stood still and nature has retained its pristine beauty. Imagine deserted canyons, abandoned ghost towns, and quiet lakes reflecting the vast sky. There is no noise of metropolitan cities, just the whisper of the wind and the bird song that tell the stories of millennia. This Texas is mysterious and unbridled, filled with mysteries and emotions that cannot be forgotten. Are you ready to leave the familiar behind and travel to the places where the true soul of the state is revealed? If so, go ahead. You'll discover Texas in a way that the tourist guides won't tell you about. Big Bend Ranch is a huge wilderness preserve with wild deserts and canyons. Here you can feel real freedom and solitude when all around, only endless sands and rocky mountains. The air is filled with the smell of sage and pine needles, and sunsets paint bright, almost unreal colors in the sky. In the evenings, the stars seem especially close, as if you could reach out and touch the Milky Way. Marathon Lake is a quiet and beautiful place to relax and fish. The water is clear and reflects the blue sky and the green of the surrounding hills, creating a sense of peace. Early in the morning, a light fog often rises over the lake, as if guarding this place from the hustle and bustle of the world. Local residents like to come here with their families to just sit on the shore and listen to the splashing water. Stonetown Goodland is an abandoned ghost town with a Wild West history. Time seems to have stopped here, and the old wooden houses whisper stories of cowboys and dusty roads. The wind plays with dry leaves, and distant footsteps seem to remind you of long-gone residents. Standing on the main street, one feels both a slight uneasiness and admiration for the forgotten past. The Caverns of Sonora are amazing underground formations. When you step inside, the cold air and silence make you feel like you're in another world, magical and mysterious. Stalactites and stalagmites sparkle like crystal chandeliers, reflecting the light of a flashlight in hundreds of shades. This place seems to invite you to the mysteries and open your eyes to the beauty of the underground kingdom. The meteorite impact site in Wilson is a rare natural phenomenon. Nature has left a mystery here, a huge crater created after the impact of a celestial body, which causes awe and wonder. Standing on the edge, you feel the power of the universe and the moment when the earth seems to breathe and keeps the memory of the cosmos. All around are desert landscapes that make this place especially mystical and majestic. The old Gander Railroad Bridge is an abandoned bridge over the river. Its rusty structures tell the story of long-gone trains and the people who used to rush here to do their business. The river gurgles quietly beneath the bridge, and the evening light plays on the metal beams, creating an atmosphere of nostalgia. Walking here, you can feel history meeting the present in every creak and silence. Duran Preserve is a little-known place with diverse flora and fauna. It's a natural place where you can hear birds chirping and leaves rustling, as if everything breathes in rhythm. Walking along the trails gives peace and a sense of solitude, far from the noise and bustle of the city. Every step here is an opportunity to touch the pure and wild beauty of Texas. Laredo Bluffs are steep cliffs overlooking the Rio Grande River. The scenery from the top is breathtaking, where water and sky meet and the horizon seems endless. The wind playing with the grass brings smells of wildlife and gives the place a special energy. Here it is easy to forget about time and just enjoy the majesty of the surrounding world. The Rockhart Modern Museum is a private art collection. Inside, the walls are filled with colorful paintings and unusual sculptures that seem to tell the stories of the artist's soul. Each room of the museum creates an atmosphere of inspiration and creativity, making you forget about everyday life. This place is a small island of culture hidden in a quiet Texas town. Shelbyville Historic District is an old Texas town with original architecture. Narrow streets and wooden houses preserve the atmosphere of past centuries, where every stone breathes history. Evenings are especially cozy here. Lanterns softly illuminate the sidewalks, and passers-by seem to be transported back in time. A walk through Shelbyville is a journey into the heart of traditional Texas. Big Spring Tree Park is a small green oasis among the prairies. In the shade of the sprawling trees, it's easy to forget about the heat and hustle and bustle. The sounds of birdsong and rustling leaves fill the air with peace and tranquility. Locals come here with children and books to spend time alone with nature. The abandoned lighthouse in Port Aransas Harbor is a gloomy but fascinating place. Its creaky steps and peeling paint hold stories of violent storms and sailors' long waits. The wind carries the salty odor of the ocean, and sunsets here take on a special dramatic quality. Standing nearby, you feel the mysticism and loneliness of an abandoned time. Taylor Cattle Farm is a traditional ranch with tours where you can touch your Texas roots. Spacious pastures and the sounds of mooing create a true ranch life atmosphere. The owners proudly tell stories about their animals and the farm's past. Here you feel at one with nature and the spirit of the ancestors. The Monterey Desert Oasis is a small miracle in the midst of lifeless sands. Fresh water and green vegetation seem to rescue lost travelers. The warm wind plays with the leaves of palm trees, creating the feeling of a real fairy tale. In this place, time slows down and all worries seem to be far away. The local Brooks Village Cowboy Festival is an almost forgotten event, but full of heartwarming warmth and tradition. The sounds of guitars, clacking hooves, and laughter create a unique Texas atmosphere. People gather here to remember old songs and share stories. Every moment is filled with pride and love for the land. Guadalupe Caves is an underrated complex of caves with a mysterious beauty. Inside, it's dark and cool, and water droplets create a gentle melody that echoes. The walls are decorated with intricate patterns of minerals, like paintings by ancient artists. Here you feel like an explorer in the heart of the earth itself. The Lake Travis submerged town is a mystery hidden beneath the water's surface. During the summer, divers explore the ruins of houses and streets where life once thrived. Each find awakens the imagination, telling forgotten stories. The water is cold and clear, creating a mysterious and appealing atmosphere. The old abandoned Fort McCoy airfield is a place where time seems to have stood still. The rusted remains of airplanes and dilapidated hangars hold echoes of former flights and heroic feats. The wind walks along empty runways, and sunsets here are especially bright and sad. A walk around the airfield is an immersion into the past and a reflection on fate. The small town of Pine Hollow has retained the spirit of ranching and Texas simplicity. The narrow streets with wooden houses breathe history and tranquility. The locals greet visitors with smiles and tell stories of life. Here you can feel how the real Texas soul lives, open and warm. The Charlotte Blanche Historic House is a repository of the past with a cozy atmosphere of old-world comfort. Hidden in every corner are memories and antique objects that seem to come alive in the tour guide's stories. The light pouring from the windows warms even the coldest days. This house is a quiet place where past and present meet at one point. The Camp Willow film site preserves the atmosphere of old movies in the Wild West. The dusty roads and wooden facades of the buildings seem to transport you back in time to the era of cowboys and duels at dawn. The wind rustles among the ruins, as if whispering forgotten dialogues and gunfights. Walking here, you feel like a hero of your own Western history. St. Mary's Estate is a stately home with a rich history and the atmosphere of bygone times. Heavy wooden doors, carved railings, and antique chandeliers create a sense of luxury and mystery at the same time. A light breeze strolls through the garden, playing with the leaves and awakening memories of long evenings on the veranda. This place seems to hold the spirit of bygone eras and light sadness. The Route 66 abandoned motel is a symbol of a bygone era of American roads. Its sign, faded by time, beckons to those seeking adventure and history. Through the broken windows, you can see old furniture, and the smell of dust and memories lingers in the air. A walk here is like a journey through a trail of endless wanderings and freedom. Blanco Wildflower Park is a sea of flowers that pleases the eye and the soul. In the spring, colorful poppies, daisies, and lupines bloom to create picturesque carpets. The air is full of sweet aroma and buzzing of bees, and the sunlight plays on the petals. This place awakens in everyone the desire to stop and just enjoy the moment. Taylor Lake Sculpture Park is an amazing combination of nature and art. Between the trees are unusual and inspiring works of art, each telling a different story. Walking along the paths, you can feel the art come to life and harmonize with the surrounding landscape. This place fills your soul with creativity and tranquility at the same time. Tinker's Canyon is a deep and mysterious rift in the earth, full of mystery and beauty. The stone walls reflect light, creating bizarre shadows that seem to move with the wind. The sounds of water and birds fill the air with the vibrant energy of nature. This place gives a feeling of privacy and belonging to the ancient land. Merritt Pioneer Cemetery is a quiet place of remembrance and respect for those who laid the foundations of Texas. Old headstones with weathered inscriptions tell stories of the lives, struggles, and hopes of the early settlers. The wind gently rustles the tall grasses, giving the place a touching atmosphere. Here, every stone reminds you of the value and meaning of the past. The Arroyo Viejo Farmers Market is the vibrant heart of the local community, where fresh produce and genuine smiles meet. The smell of fresh fruit and baked goods fills the streets, inviting you to stop and savor the moment. People exchange news, jokes, and advice, creating an atmosphere of friendship and support. This place is a celebration of simple joys in real life. The Lang Antique Auto Museum is a treasure trove of automotive history and engineering. Each car here is not just an exhibit, but a living legend, preserving the spirit of its time. The shine of chrome and the smell of leather transport you back to an era when the roads were full of adventure and freedom. Walking between the rows, you feel admiration and respect for the past. Crow Creek Bird Sanctuary is a quiet and magical place where you can hear the most unusual birds sing. Here the air is full of freshness and wildlife, and every wing beat is like giving hope and freedom. A walk along the paths of the reserve is a small journey into the world of beauty and harmony. At such moments, you forget about the hustle and bustle and simply enjoy life. An abandoned mine in West Texas holds dark and fascinating secrets at the same time. The interior is cold and dark, and the walls echo the footsteps and voices of those who once worked here in the sweat of their brow. Dust and rust create a special atmosphere of oblivion and time that is stopped. Here you feel both anxiety and the pull of the unknown. Painted cliffs are strikingly colored and patterned, as if painted by an artist's hand. The sun's rays play on the surface, making the colors shimmer with all shades of the rainbow. This place is like a living canvas where nature exhibits its best gallery. Standing at the foot, one feels inspired and respectful of the power of nature. The historic Boulder Lake Lighthouse is a symbol of hope and safety for all who have ever crossed these waters. Its white walls and red roof stand out against the calm lake and green hills. The breeze carries the smells of fresh water and pine trees, and sunsets color the lighthouse with golden hues. This place is filled with quiet pride and a history you want to listen to. The Terrace Crafts Village is a living space where traditions and crafts live and breathe. Here you can see how wood, clay, and fabric are used to create unique works of art made with love and patience. The sounds of hammers, conversations of craftsmen, and the smell of fresh resin create an atmosphere of creativity and inspiration. Walking through the village, you can feel the warmth of human hands and the spirit of real craftsmanship. The San Marcos Miniature Railway is a small wonder for all train lovers and adventurers. Small steam trains hum quietly, taking passengers along the picturesque routes among the greenery and flowering gardens. Children's laughter and smiles of adults create a special atmosphere of joy and carefree. Here it is easy to feel like a child discovering the world anew. Coachella County Rock Art Canyon is an amazing place where ancient stories come alive on the rocks. Each line and symbol tells of the culture and lives of those who lived here thousands of years ago. The silence of the canyon heightens the sense of mysticism and immerses you in a reflection on time and memory. Walking among these ancient drawings, one feels a connection to the past and the greatness of the human spirit. The Arlington Abandoned Vineyard is a sad yet beautiful place where nature is slowly reclaiming the forgotten rows of vines. Empty terraces and old supports are covered with moss and wild grapes, creating an atmosphere of abandonment and peace. The wind whispers among the leaves as if telling stories of feasts and harvests. Standing here, you can feel how time changes everything, but the memory remains. The unique salt flats in West Texas are like a vast white sea shimmering in the sun. Their surface glistens and beckons with its unusual beauty and silence, which is especially tangible here. Standing on these plains, one feels a part of something big and mysterious. It is as if this place invites you to reflect on nature and infinity. The Black Texan Cultural Center in Siegel is a living heart of history and culture. Filled with pride and memory, it displays photographs, artifacts, and stories that give voice to those who built and changed Texas. The atmosphere is filled with respect and inspiration, awakening a desire to learn more and preserve the legacy. A visit to the center is not only a history lesson, but an experience of deep emotion and understanding. Canyon Lake Beach is the perfect place to relax and immerse yourself in nature. Soft sand, gently splashing water and sunshine create an atmosphere of relaxation and happiness. People here laugh, play, and enjoy the moment, forgetting the hustle and bustle of the city. In the evening, the water reflects the sunset, turning the beach into a magical space filled with warmth and light. Fredericksburg Microbrewery is where tradition and modernity meet in every sip. The aroma of freshly brewed hops and malt fills the room, making it feel cozy and friendly. People gather here to share stories and laugh while enjoying unique beers. Each bottle tells its own little Texas story, made with heart. Dawn Flame. Open Air Park is a place where nature and light merge in a breathtaking dance. In the rays of the rising sun, trees and flowers seem to blaze, filling the air with the magic of a new beginning. Here it is easy to forget about time, just listening to the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves. A walk through the park energizes and fills the soul with tranquility. Riverside Abandoned Station is a silent witness to bygone eras and human stories. The rusted rails and peeling walls create an atmosphere of mystery and nostalgia. Sometimes it seems as if a train is about to pull out of here, carrying both the past and the future at the same time. Standing here, you can feel the whisper of thousands of footsteps and glances that once rushed by. The Brazos River Bridge in Grapevine is a majestic symbol of the convergence of coasts and destinies. The views of the river are breathtaking, with the water sparkling in the sun and whispering its ancient stories. Passers-by slow down to enjoy the cool breeze and the sound of water underfoot. It is a place where nature and engineering meet in harmony. The Tyler Small Art Gallery is a cozy corner of creativity and inspiration, tucked away amidst the hustle and bustle of the city. The walls are lined with colorful paintings and unusual sculptures that make you smile and think. In each room, you can feel the artist's breath and love for art. Visitors often linger here, letting their emotions flow freely. The Valley of Forgotten Mines is a place where time seems to stand still and nature slowly absorbs the traces of human labor. Abandoned mines and dilapidated buildings create a mystical atmosphere and awaken curiosity. The wind plays with dry leaves, humming old songs of the miners. Here it is easy to imagine how life once boomed, but now only an echo remains. The San Antonio Rare Books Library is a temple of knowledge and mystery hidden among the modern streets. The rustling pages and the smell of old paper create a special atmosphere where time seems to slow down. Here, each volume is a small adventure, keeping the wisdom and secrets of the past. A visit to the library is an opportunity to touch history through the lines of long-forgotten stories. Dallas Pioneer Park is a living reminder of the people who built this city from the ground up and believed in a bright future. Trees, walkways, and monuments create a space for reflection and respect for the past. In the silence of the park, you can hear the echoes of those times when the land was wild and full of hope. Every step here seems to follow the footsteps of the first pioneers. The Musician's House Museum is where the music and soul of Texas lives. Items, photos, and instruments tell the story of the artist's journey, struggles, and inspirations. The sounds of old songs seem to come alive in the air, filling the space with warmth and emotion. This home is a true sanctuary for anyone who appreciates heartfelt creativity and the Texas spirit. The Red Walls climbing site is a challenge for those who love adrenaline and nature. Steep cliffs glow red in the sun, inviting you to conquer their peaks. The sounds of breathtaking breath and the clanging of carabiners fill the air with energy and excitement. Here, every ascent is a small victory and a charge of strength for the spirit. The Presidio County Cave Lakes are like hidden gems underground, quiet and mysterious. The water here is clear and cold, reflecting a mysterious light from the cave ceiling. Every step along the stone banks causes awe, because it seems that ancient secrets are hidden around. The sounds of dripping water and echoes create a magical atmosphere that cannot be forgotten. This botanical garden is a quiet corner of nature where flowers and herbs reveal their stories. The sweet scent of blooming plants wafts through the air, inviting you to slow down and breathe in. You can wander the winding paths here for hours, enjoying the beauty and tranquility. The sun's rays play on the leaves, enlivening every corner of the garden. An abandoned mill holds the dust of centuries and the sounds of bygone labor days. It's quiet inside, but the walls whisper of hundreds of hands weaving Texas cotton. Light shines through broken windows, painting shadows on rusted cars and ruins. Walking here is filled with a mixture of sadness and admiration, like touching a bygone era. The fishing village on the Gulf Coast lives to the rhythm of the waves and fresh sea wind. Wooden docks and boats create a feeling of coziness and simplicity where everyone knows each other by name. Morning catches fill the air with the smell of salt and fresh fish, and evening gatherings around the campfire with warm conversations. Here you feel a real connection with nature and the sea. Ancient trails. Cross Park is a place where roads and stories from different eras intersect. Trees, trails, and monuments create the feeling of traveling through time. Here it is easy to imagine how pioneers and travelers once walked these paths. The tranquility and majesty of the surrounding nature fills the heart with respect and gratitude. Old Becky Schoolhouse is a small house with big memories. The walls hold children's voices, laughter, and life's first lessons. Walking through the empty classrooms, you feel the warmth of the past, as if returning to a carefree childhood. This house is a symbol of simplicity and the importance of knowledge in small communities. The abandoned post station, the silence and dust of the ages, preserving the traces of former travelers. Old furniture and rusty mailboxes tell of a time when people came here with important messages and news. Sometimes the wind brings echoes of distant conversations and footsteps. The place is filled with a special atmosphere of waiting and past meetings. The lake at night transforms into a dreamy place where the water glows softly with a gentle blue light. Every movement in the water causes it to shimmer, as if millions of little lights are dancing in the darkness. Standing on the shore, it is impossible to take your eyes off this magical sight. Here nature shows its most magical sides, filling the soul with wonder. The museum preserves the spirit and traditions of the region's indigenous peoples, telling their stories through artifacts and exhibits. Each room is filled with reverence for the wisdom and culture passed down through generations. Here one feels connected to the past and the greatness of the human spirit. A visit to the museum is an immersion in deep and moving stories. This old bridge seems to hang between worlds, abandoned but alive in the memories of the locals. In the evening, fog drifts over the river, giving the bridge a mystical and slightly unsettling aura. Every creak and rustle gives you goosebumps, as if the bridge keeps its secrets and legends. Here you want to stop and listen to the whisper of time. If you enjoy these stories and the places we discover together, be sure to subscribe to the channel. More fascinating stories, lively descriptions, and inspiration for new journeys await you here. Don't miss new episodes. Together we will discover the most unusual and atmospheric corners of Texas, and not only. Subscribe and stay up to date with the most exciting discoveries.